Hello.
Hi, welcome. Hi, welcome. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Riding to the aircraft, welcome to your flight. As you make way down the aisle, please remember, place all lower doors into the overhead space, wheels first. If you have any carry-on items with you, like a backpack, jacket, or purse, please refrain from putting them into those overhead bins. And remember that all small items go under the seats in front of you.
I didn't say that, but you never know.
Oh, I'm gonna sit over there.